a paradise on earth, a land of serene valleys and ancient traditions. But for over 7 decades, the story of Kashmir has been one of conflict, a promise broken, and a people's struggle for the right to choose their own destiny. The year was 1947. As the British Raj ended, the subcontinent was partitioned into 2 new nations, India and Pakistan. The princely states were given a choice: accede to India, accede to Pakistan, or remain independent. For Jammu and Kashmir, a Muslim-majority state with a Hindu ruler, Maharaja Hari Singh, the decision was fraught with peril. In October 1947, amid widespread resistance in Poonch and growing unrest across the region, the people rose against Maharaja Hari Singh's rule, fearing his alignment with India, eventually compelling his forces to withdraw. On October 27, 1947, the Indian army landed in Srinagar. This was not a simple intervention. The Maharaja had signed an instrument of accession to India, a document whose circumstances remain contested to this day. Indian forces secured the Kashmir Valley, but this military entry marked the beginning of an occupation that would solidify into a bitter dispute. As the forces moved in, a horrific tragedy was unfolding in the Jammu region. From late October to November 1947, systematic killings and pogroms targeted the Muslim population. Historians estimate over 200,000 Muslims were killed, and hundreds of thousands more were forced to flee their ancestral homes for Pakistan. It was a brutal demographic cleansing, a massacre that shattered the communal fabric of the region. War erupted between the new neighbors. India, instead of solidifying its claim through force alone, took the issue to the United Nations in January 1948. The world body mediated a ceasefire and passed resolutions that are, to this day, a cornerstone of the dispute. The UN called for a plebiscite, a vote, to allow the people of Kashmir to decide their own future, to join India or Pakistan. A promise was made to the Kashmiri people, a promise that remains unfulfilled. The political will of the people was never ambiguous. The Muslim Conference, the major political party, had repeatedly passed resolutions calling upon the Maharaja to accede to Pakistan, reflecting the aspirations of the majority. But the vote never came. Instead, a resistance was born. For generations, Kashmiris have risen against what they see as an Indian military occupation. Their struggle for self-determination has been met with a heavy hand. Decades of conflict have brought immense suffering. Reports of human rights violations, enforced disappearances, and curfews have poured out of the valley, documented by international watchdogs. The region became one of the most militarized zones on Earth. Then in August 2019, the Indian government made a move that Kashmiris feared would be their final dispossession.
India's government has made a significant move to take direct control of the state of Kashmir.
It unilaterally abrogated Article 370 of the Indian Constitution, which had granted Jammu and Kashmir a measure of autonomy. Overnight, the state was dismantled, split into 2 territories, and directly ruled from New Delhi. The government flung open the floodgates, changing land laws to allow non-residents to settle, own property, and acquire jobs. For many, this was a blatant attempt to change the demographic, cultural, and political character of Muslim-majority Kashmir. Throughout this long struggle, Pakistan has stood as a vocal supporter of the Kashmiri cause.
Ladies and gentlemen, through this august house, I wish to assure the Kashmiri people that I stand with them. The people of Pakistan stand with them. And one day soon, inshallah, India's tyranny in Kashmir will come to a grinding halt. Kashmir will gain its fundamental right to self-determination through an impartial plebiscite under the auspices of this very organization, United Nations.
It maintains the Kashmir dispute is the unfinished agenda of partition and continues to advocate internationally for the right of Kashmiris to self-determination as promised by those UN resolutions decades ago. From the mountains of 1947 to the lockdown valleys of today, the story continues. It is a story of a paradise lost, a promise broken, and a people's resilient hope that one day their voice will finally be heard. The chapter remains unfinished, its final lines yet to be written by the will of the people of Kashmir.